Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sound. My name is Chris, and I am joined by Ellen Hirst from the UK's most exciting rising pagan Viking metal band, LN. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ellen. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm in the midst of moving house, so I'm a bit
Oh,
all over the shop. But yeah, no, I'm good, man. How are you?
yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much. You moving
Good
far?
stuff. No, literally like 400 meters up the road. But
Oh,
yeah, just need a bit of a bigger space because well, me and my partner have got too much musical equipment in the house, and we literally cannot sort of move for equipment. So we need a little bit of more space. So that's what we're doing.
it's just the constant chasing of space when you're a musician. I mean, look, I've got
Yeah.
guitar, microphone, and an
Yeah,
amp
insane.
here as well. Can't fucking
Hmm.
move.
Yeah, yeah, it's an ongoing thing. I think everyone feels the pain.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure you'll get to the new space, give it a couple months. Oh, we need another bigger space now. Too
Yeah,
much more shit.
yeah.
Great. So brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I've been meaning to get you on Crushing Sounds for a little while now. My introduction to you guys was where else? Bloodstock Festival. I checked out all the new blood bands in the run up to the festival, and you guys stood out to me right away because I love the whole pagan Viking thing. Love seeing that kind of thing at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
I know we're going back nearly a year at this point, but it wouldn't be Crushing Sounds if I didn't start with Bloodstock. So, how did that set go for you guys?
Yeah, no, we thoroughly enjoyed it. I think with, festivals like Bloodstock, it's sort of in and out process. You don't really get time to sort of take it all in, and it's only sort of, I would say, the next 24 hours after you play, you're like,
Sure.
oh shit, that actually happened. Like that's so sick. Um But no, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed our weekend. We enjoyed playing. We had a great crowd in the tent. It was packed. I mean, I think there was people struggling to actually get in the tent at one point, so that's super cool. And the weather was amazing the whole weekend. I mean, we were boiling. We were absolutely boiling. I mean, we're normally boiling anyway with all the chainmail and everything that we wear, but no, that weekend it was hot.
Yeah, Bloodstock's kind of notorious for that. Last few years,
Mm,
loves to bake it down. It's polar opposite to download, which I guess I'd rather
mm,
that than the other.
yeah.
But did you guys win a Metal to the Masses for that?
No, no,
Okay.
we didn't. We were in Metal to Masses. Um, we didn't win. And then we played Planet Rock. I think it was Planet Rock Winter's End, I believe. Was it Winter's End? Was it Rocks? I can't remember now. I think it must have been Winter's End. And then it was a bit odd. On the way home, we stopped off at services, and I just thought, you know what? So I just need to check my emails. I don't know why. I just want to check my emails. And anyway, I checked my emails, and there was this the Bloodstock email, and they were like, "Oh, we'd love to invite you to play on the new Blood stage." And we were like, "Fucking hell, yeah, cool, sick. Why not?" So yeah, I think the misconception, we had quite a lot of people saying, "Oh, did you win? Like, obviously you won Metal
Of
to
course.
Masses." We were like, "No, no, we didn't win actually."
Which one did you
So
go for?
the what do you mean?
Which Metal to the Masses, sorry, did you go for?
Oh, the Newcastle one.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that was the year. I think that was the year before, and we didn't win. And another band went through, and then we were like, "Oh well, that's that really." And then yeah, and then we weren't planning to enter it again, and then obviously we played Winter's End, and then we got that email through, and we were like, "Oh, sick! That's pretty cool." So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Did you stick around for the whole weekend for Bloodstock?
Yeah, yeah. So we got there on the Thursday, and then we left on the Sunday. We wanted to stay for Sunday, but I think one of our crew, or a couple of our lads wanted, or were at work on the Monday or something.
Fair enough.
Um, so yeah, we had to come back on the Sunday. But it was enough time to enjoy it all, and we had the Saturday, and we got canny pissed and rolled around in the sun and the dust, and it was class. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, you guys played the same day as Iowa, which, that's just perfect. I don't know if you managed to catch any of them.
I don't believe we did. We did catch our friends set at Veli, and they were
At
on the New
Fillion, yeah.
Blood stage as well. We hung around with them for the rest of the festival. And we also managed to see our friends Phoenix Lake on the Sophie
Oh,
stage
yeah.
as well. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, love Phoenix Lake. How about them on the channel years ago? Lovely, lovely
Yeah.
people. Also,
Oh, they're
also,
lush.
they're
Yeah,
so
we
good.
love them. We love them to
Yeah,
bits.
yeah. You mentioned Adfeli, and obviously Thuna Wolf played this year as well. I've had
Yes,
both
uh-huh.
those guys been on the channel as well. Absolute
Yeah.
gents. It's kind of quite a lot of like folky stuff going on this year, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see a bit of variation in the scene going on. And, even though we've like especially Thunderwolf and Velian, even though we're classed all under the sort of folk metal scene, everyone's very different and they bring a different aspect to it, which is really nice. And everyone's just super supportive and it's a really lovely community to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you do a lot of shows with Adfeli. Did you meet them at Bloodstock, or do you go way back?
Um so we'd heard that they'd won their Metal to Masses. And I had checked them out and I'd never met them before. And then literally as we were walking into the campsite to set up our camp, um, Matt and Scott, they came walking towards us and they were like, Ellen, it's Ellen, isn't it? I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, it's Advelian. I was like, whoa. I was like, that's sick, man. So anyway, we start talking straight away. And then um they came to see our set, we then went to see their set, and then we've just been great friends since. I mean, we got them up to support us at our last headline show in Newcastle. um we've then we're going to be playing 3 dates with them in September. I think we've done another show with them. I feel like we have. I'm not entirely sure, but we've done a few shows with them now, and they're just really, really lovely guys. And I love what they do. It's so different, and it's I love music that tells a story. I love performances that tell a story, and they really hit the nail on the head. It's just stunning what they do. I love it.
Yeah, fantastic. Cool. So we've covered Bloodstock, obviously, big milestone for you guys, but now let's pivot all the way back to the beginning. How did this project come to be?
So me, um, well, it started with me.
Hence the
I
name.
Yeah, literally. So I was when during lockdown, I was sort of in a place where I was like, well, I want to do music and I want to write my own stuff, but what do I want to do? And I sort of rebranded during lockdown as Ellen, and again didn't really know what music I wanted to write, but I knew it wanted to be dark and gory and macabre and something a little bit different, and I knew I wanted it to be heavy. And me and my bandmate Connor, otherwise known as Gway, he messaged me and was like, "Oh, do you fancy doing something? Do you fancy, forming a band of some sort?" And I'd known him for years. Like we've been to buskers nights together forever, and so anyway, we got together, did a few jams, and we were like, no, this actually sounds pretty cool and we see something really cool in this. And he had all the same ideas as me. He used to do reenactments and stuff,
Oh,
and
wow.
so he loves history, loves Vikings. He's got loads. I probably shouldn't say this, but he's got weapons from his reenactment days. um Not like horrible weapons, like it's allowed, it's legal.
It's metal,
And
it's fine.
yeah. And yeah, so that it just started out with that, and then we eventually started getting more band members. Before we actually had a full band, we put out Hangman's Son, and we put out Asylum, and I'm pretty sure we put out The Slaughter as well. And then we ended up finding a band, and sort of the rest is history. And then we found Ironside, and then we found Adam, our drummer, and then now we've got Jord on bass as well. And yeah, it's worked out pretty cool.
Nice, nice. Um, am I the only person who, when I first saw your band name written down, called it
Mm.
Lun?
Lun. No, there's so many people have done that. They're like, Lun, what does that even mean? Like, what does it stand for? And I have people come up to me, like, if they've seen us the first time at like merch stalls at like festivals or shows or whatever. And they're like, what does LN stand for? And I'm like, oh, well, my name's Ellen. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that makes sense now. Okay. They're like, and they always feel stupid for it. And I'm like, well, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you toy around with other names, or did you know it had
Yeah.
to sort yeah?
Yeah, so because I'd already rebranded and because I already had like a few followers on Instagram at the time, we thought, well, what's the point in just like in starting all over again. Like, and what's the point in changing the name when actually it's really cool to chant and people quite enjoy chanting it, and it's like it's just dead easy. And we did toy with other names, but then we were like, well, what's the point? Like, nothing really fits because Ellen in itself, she's a character that I play, and she's the head of the band, she's head of the clan, and it's the whole idea about Ellen is that we all have characters and we all are different beings, and so it just makes sense to us, really. So yeah, we did toy with the fact, but then we were like, nah, you know what? Stick to our guns. Stick to our guns.
Of course. So, what drew you to this style of metal? Because we typically
Mm,
associate this sort of paganistic thing with, the more Scandinavian heavy metal scene. So, what made you
mm,
want to go for this kind of heavy metal?
mm. I love folk music. I've loved folk music since I can remember. I grew up on Lindisfarne, and like not the Lindisfarne the island. I grew up like on
Yeah, yeah,
Lindisfarne the
yeah, yeah,
band.
got you.
And albeit they're not like Scandinavian folk, but they are very folky, and I've loved them since I can remember. And then I started, listening to more atmospheric and more sort of um I suppose like Scandinavian folk, and it's something. It just triggers a part of my soul that just it doesn't. Nothing else really reaches it. Like nothing triggers my soul like that. It sounds real deep, but it really does. And then, I'm a bit of a history nerd, and I love mythology, and I love Vikings, and living in the northeast of England. Vikings are a big part of our history with Bamber and Berwick and Northumberland, and um, it just feels right to celebrate our history. It's not just Scandinavian history; it's English history as well. It's part of us. It's part of why we're here. So it just feels right to celebrate that and to bring our own sort of aspect to it as well, I guess.
Yeah, great. Did you have a clear idea in your head right at the beginning what this music was going to sound like, or did it form a bit more naturally?
I would say partly both. I definitely had an idea. Me and Gwe definitely had an idea as to what we wanted it to be. I think, Hangman's Son, the first EP, Hangman's Tales with Hangman's Son, Asylum and the Slaughter, that was us really starting out. And I think we haven't really found our sound until recently, I would say, like in the last couple of years, I feel. Um when we had like the full band. And I think when we say sort of back to the beginning, obviously it was 2021 when we first originally started, but I don't see it as us starting then, because I see us starting like 2 years ago when we had the full band, and when we've now got the lineup that we do now. And that ultimately has influenced our sound, having Ironside in the band, having Adam Sayers in the band as well. And I think we've still got room to grow. We've still got ideas that we want to get into our songs, and we definitely do want to grow and change the sound as it needs to be changed and how it naturally changes. I guess no song is the same, and always open to other influences and other sounds, I guess.
Yeah, brilliant. What about the aesthetic, the characters? Was that
Mm.
all there from the get-go, or did
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
almost before the music kind of thing?
Yeah. I already had Ellen in my head. She was there. She was waiting to be released. She was chained down for many years, and then and then it just allowed me to set her free, I guess. And um Ellen is a part of me that I'm not able to show other people, I suppose, in my everyday life. And she's able to come out on stage and do things that maybe I wouldn't necessarily be able to do in my everyday life or job. And yeah, I knew who she was, and I feel her very deeply. And she continues to change. She continues to adapt and take on different characteristics, but yeah, no, I definitely knew who Ellen was at the time.
Yeah, for sure. Does embodying a character, does that inform where the music goes in a sort of deeper way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it's sometimes it's hard to write songs coming from me because they can sometimes be a bit too sad or a bit too nice or like a bit too flimsy. I guess because things I personally want to write about aren't really things that maybe Ellen would want to write about, and I think sometimes I have to really put on my Ellen head and think, well, what is she angry about? Like, why does she love screaming at middle-aged men so much? Like, why is that a thing? And then I have to sort of channel her and think, well, what is she angry about today? Like, what is she passionate about? What is really grinding her gears at the minute? And I have to sort of think in that respect sometimes.
Yeah, that completely resonates with me. I mean, my band, we wear ridiculous outfits and whatnot. I wear like a court jester kind of thing, but
So
normally in my downtime, I'd be playing like Opeth or that kind of thing. But
yeah,
when I'm in the creepy mindset of my band, I'm just like, what would a court jester write about? Oh, he would like System of a
yeah,
Down. And I don't even listen to
yeah.
System of a Down, but yeah, it completely makes sense. I love doing
Hmm.
that. I love bands that put more attention into what the audience are actually seeing as well as just the
Mm.
music. It never ceases to
Hmm.
wind me up when people call that a gimmick because it's not a goddamn gimmick.
Yeah,
Part
yeah, I
of
agree.
it's part of the show.
Yeah. I think that's a real, yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think that's a real boomer way of looking at things like that. Um, I think I agree. Gimmick is just, it's distasteful. It's not, and I think with the rise of bands, obviously Slipknot with their masks, but Sleep Token who get dressed up, and I'm not a big Sleep Token fan. It's just not really my cup of tea, which is absolutely fine. I get why people enjoy them. Um, and you've got Ghost, who I absolutely love, and
Yeah, oh yeah.
like Ghost inspire me so much, and I just think there's so many bands on the rise. Oh, Castle Rat as well. Like how
Oh
fucking cool
yeah.
is Castle Rat? It's insane, and I just love seeing people being creative. And personally, I would much rather go and see a theatrical band that go and kill a rat on stage than I would go and see a band that just dresses in. No offense, because I have so many friends that are in bands like this, and I love them. But like, then the people just stand around in a black t-shirt and some jeans and just headbanging. I love, for me personally, I love the theatrical side of things. I love people pushing the limits of creativity, pushing the limits of the music and the metal scene, and creating something that is truly unique. And I have a big respect for people who have that sort of um perspective. I love it.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's heavy metal. If you're not pushing boundaries, you've missed the point.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. For
yeah,
sure.
brilliant. So you have a fair few singles out already, dating us, I
Yeah.
think, as we said, all the way back to like 2022.
Yeah.
What I think you mentioned it before, but what I love is that no one of these songs sounds exactly the same. We never really know what's coming next from you guys. You
Yeah.
got like, beautiful songs like Mothers, but also absolute belters like Shield Wall. Um,
Yeah.
so that being said, if you were to do an elevator pitch for what LN sounds like, how would you go about it?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I try and describe what we do to my work colleagues, and they're like, "Well, I don't like shouty music." I'm like, "Well, it's not all shouty. Like some of it is really melodic and soft." And our recent release, Fenrir, quite a few of my work colleagues have come to me and like, "Oh my god, you've got such a beautiful voice. That's amazing." I'm like, can you just listen to the other songs as well, please? You might actually enjoy it. But I think, trying to describe us to people, I think obviously you can put a label on it like Pagan Viking Metal and whatever. Um and I think that it's difficult putting labels on because yes, okay, it is Viking. We do dress up as Vikings. We do sing about Norse mythology, but we sing about other things as well. We sing about trauma. We sing about spirituality. We sing about things that are, important. And for instance, like misogyny and especially in the music scene, it's really it's that is important to me as well. And so defining the sound, I think we would say that we're heavy. We have a mixture of, extreme vocals. We have a mixture of melodic, clean vocals, with, heavy riffs, big drums, quite atmospheric aspects to it as well. And it is folky and metal, and that's it really. And I think if you're confused as to what we sound like, or you're intrigued, and just go and listen to all the songs, and I think just take away from it what you will. I think it's difficult to push your sound onto people. I think the best thing for people to do is just to go and listen to it and figure it out themselves. If they don't like it, they don't like it. And if they do, fucking great. Welcome aboard.
Brilliant. I think my favorite answers whenever I ask the elevator pitch question is where the band are like, "Can the elevator be like the top of the Empire State Building, please?" Because
Yeah.
it's going to take a while to
Yeah,
figure
for
out.
sure. For sure.
I love that. That's Imperial Triumph at that question, and that Jesus, he went on for a bit. Fuck me.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh.
so you mentioned sort of where your more folky influences came from. What about the metal side? What metal bands
Mm.
were big for you in the early days of creating this music?
Mm. So I suppose controversial, but Ghost is a huge one. Some
Not
people say Ghost is
controversial
not
at
metal,
all.
and
Fucking
it
love Ghost.
is metal. Like they used to be so like doom metal back in the day, and then obviously they've gone a bit more, 80s, which I fucking love anyway. So that doesn't it, I love everything about Ghost. But heavier wise, I would say Gway, he likes a lot of Judas Priest. He likes which you can sort of hear in the guitars. I like Nightwish. I like uh what else do I like? We like Amon Amarth. We like Arch Enemy. We like trying to think what else what else we sort of take inspiration from metal wise. I used to listen to loads. I mean, Iron Maiden, it was my first love, and I think sometimes you can hear a bit of Iron Maiden in us as well. um and then Slipknot, which we don't really take a great deal, of inspiration from now, but I grew up with Slipknot, Iron Maiden, Metallica, um, and then more like grungy stuff. So I think, it's not just one or two bands. There's aspects of like so many metal bands that we all enjoy, um and have taken inspiration from, even just like the tiniest little thing that maybe someone did, and it's not even metal either. Like we love Dire Straits, and you can hear a little bit of Dire Straits in what Gway does as well. And then obviously the folky side of things. And my biggest inspiration is Hayley Williams, and I try and channel her in my songwriting as much as I can, because she's just an incredible human. And I try and channel her in my actual stage performance as well. I think, energy wise and movements and dances, she's just incredible. And so I wouldn't say it's just metal that we're influenced by. We're influenced by so many amazing artists that have come before us. And I think trying to be inspired by one or two bands, or, just metal, is actually quite um I suppose difficult, because then it puts you in a corner of maybe sounding too much like other people and
Sure.
too much like those specific bands. Whereas if you take inspiration from a few different people, you're less likely to do that. And also, you just get like a broader vision of who you want to be, and what aspects you like, what aspects you don't like. And I think that's what I'm really proud of with Ellen, is that I don't think we're like anyone else. And I don't think we really sound like anyone else. And like you say, our songs don't sound the same. And I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also cool to hear more. So I guess bands that are inspired by sort of Viking imagery, but they don't all sound like Amon Amarth, for crying out
Mm,
loud. 'Cause that's the
yeah,
band everyone immediately goes to. I
for
mean,
sure.
they are
For
brilliant,
sure.
but
Absolutely. I totally agree.
yeah. So you can kind of so the pagan influence in your music, it was there from the beginning, but I always felt that it sort of has grown a little bit
Yeah.
as your songs have gone along. It's a bit more subtle on Hangman's Son, gets a bit more dark and tribalistic on Slaughter. I mentioned Mothers earlier, very
Hmm.
tribalistic. But then there's a Christmas song in the middle of that. Where did that come from?
We crease about this all the time. Like honestly, it's a running joke in the band. We take the piss out of it all the time because it's not it's completely so far removed from what we do. But the idea at the time was to create something really nice and pretty, and raise some money for charity. And there were, like I said, that we didn't have a full band at that point. It was literally me and Gwen, maybe one other member. I'm not entirely sure. And we wanted to do something around Christmas time. I always wanted to write a Christmas song, and that's what we came up with. And we have made it into a rock song since then. We performed a full sort of rock version of it at our last headline, and it sounds so much better now. And it sounds so much more like what we do. And honestly, every time someone brings this song up in an interview, I'm like, oh my god, I actually die inside a little bit because I'm
Sorry,
like,
that I didn't mean to
no,
bring it
no, it's
up.
fine because I just really want to take it down and just do another version of it. It's just yeah, I think I'm probably going to end up doing that, to be honest. But so many people ask for it, which is weird because I'm like, well, it's so different. Like, why do you like it so much?
I think it's sort of an untapped area for metal. I mean, for I guess
Mm,
for obvious reasons, we're not
yeah,
normally known for jovial, jolly stuff like that. But you can do
yeah,
like dark Christmas songs. I reckon it's a thing.
yeah. I
Not that not,
suppose.
not that yours is dark, but
Yeah.
big
I
rocky
mean, it is
Christmas
about
songs.
homeless people at Christmas time, so it's not the happiest of songs, but it's yeah, it's definitely not about summoning the devil, which is sort of generally what we tend to sing about. So
Have you ever heard? This is just coming to my head now. Have you heard Taja, the original singer of Nightwish's Christmas album?
no, I didn't know
It
she had a Christmas
it
album.
came out a couple years ago. It's her doing her soft operatic
Oh
singing
wow.
over some Christmas songs. Some of them sound amazing. Some of them are just
Mm,
bizarre because she did "All I
mm.
Want for Christmas Is You" on there, and it sounds utterly
That's
ridiculous.
class.
So
That is class.
I couldn't decide if I loved it or thought it was the most horrific thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm gonna have
Well,
to check this out.
yes,
I need to know what this sounds
stick it
like.
on your Christmas playlist for sure. Why didn't that album take off? Who knows? Who
That's
knows?
hilarious. That's so funny.
Brilliant. So to go off of music for a moment, you work for the NHS, right?
Unfortunately,
So
yes,
wow,
yes.
you say unfortunately, it's a noble profession for sure. Is it a difficult career to balance alongside leading a band?
So I do 12-hour shifts, if not longer. So it can be difficult. I also have a chronic condition, so like the tiredness that I get is quite profound. And I generally do about 3 shifts a week, but sometimes I have to do four, and sometimes they can be back to back. Sometimes I'll be in a day, off a day, in a day, off a day, and in that time, I then have to, on my days off, I then have to, you know, work my second job, which is Ellen, and um, which I don't get paid for
Of course.
yet, and it is difficult at times. I do try and manage it as best I can. Yeah, it is really tiring, and it's not just physically. I mean, it's such a mentally draining job. You're dealing with, especially at the minute, so many disgruntled people. Everyone is not happy with the NHS. Everyone's, you know sick of not getting seen on time, or sick of waiting times, and all of that gets put onto us as practitioners, and it's a lot to deal with. I mean, I'm very lucky that um my colleagues at work are just beautiful people, and we're very supportive of each other, and my managers are great. They're really lovely as well, and they know what I do outside work, um and and they're really supportive and really flexible as much as they can be. And so it's really nice to be able to work with such lovely people. It's just, in the sort of climate at the minute, it's with the NHS basically slowly but surely going down the drain. It is really difficult and quite upsetting, because I've worked a damn a damn amount of years to get where I am, and to work where I am, and to achieve the certificates and degrees that I have. And um it's upsetting because I love my job, but I can't do my job properly, and that is that's the sad thing. And and I feel people's pain when they come in and they're waiting, or they're not happy with the service, they're not happy with their GP, they're not happy with this, they're not happy with that. I feel that because I also feel that as a punter in the NHS. I get it. But it is very, very difficult at times to leave all that at the door and get home and feel okay about life.
Sure, sure.
um, it's a lot.
Yeah, I would imagine, especially that profession in particular, having all these difficulties and doing the job the best you can must be especially difficult because you go into that job, I presume, because you want to help people.
For sure, for sure. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, that's the difficult bit is, all my colleagues, we're all there because we want to be there. We want to help. Like we want to do good, and we want to, be able to help people when they're at their lowest moments. And um, it's just very, very difficult to do that at the minute. And that's the sad and the most draining aspect, is that we want to do our jobs, but we're not able to do it.
well, for myself, on behalf of the Bristol metal scene, thank you very much for all the hard work all of you in the NHS are doing right now
Oh,
with what you're
thank
dealing
you.
with. Yeah, it's absolutely remarkable. I could never,
Thank you.
I couldn't do it. But
Mm,
I guess I'll try and spin this into a funny question. Has it ever been,
yeah.
has the jarring dichotomy between working in NHS and being in a metal band ever
Yeah.
caused like a hilarious like conversation at your job?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, um, my hair, especially with me having dreadlocks, that basically starts conversations nearly every day at my job. Um, or my tattoos, or just the the way I look, which is fair enough. It's fair enough. But there was one day at work, when a couple came in, and I was like, "My name's Ellen," and they were like, "Yeah, we know." And I was like, "What do you mean, you know? Have I seen you in here before?" And they were like, "No, no, we've been to your shows." I was like, "Oh no!" Like, "I'm so
Brilliant.
sorry." And they were like, "No, no, it's fine. This is class. Like, we're getting trapped by a celebrity." I was like, "Oh my god, shut up, get out." But they were lovely. They were really lovely, and it did make me feel like a celebrity for about 5 minutes, and that felt amazing. So, would I want that to happen every day? Probably not, but it was funny, and I enjoyed it, and that's a good story to tell.
Wonderful, wonderful, cool. So, I also wanted to ask you specifically about being a woman within heavy metal. I always take the
Yeah,
opportunity to ask this because I've always tried where I can on this channel to showcase the amazing women that we have within heavy metal. And I'd like to hear from people like yourself about your experiences because as a guy, I know I can say I understand, but I can't completely understand, of course.
yeah.
So, my very loaded question coming at you is what has your experience been as a woman fronting a heavy metal band? Have things improved over the years, and where can we improve as a scene?
Mm. That's a really good question, and I really appreciate you asking that question because not many people do, and it's a really important and a aspect of um you know th- today that is really um sort of important to me personally as well. um I I have had some, I mean, most of the promoters that I have dealt with have been male, and there has been a few times where they've tried to get less, pay us less, and are expecting less from us. But I've always been very headstrong, and my mum and dad have brought me up very well, and have always told me that there's nothing I cannot do, and two, that nobody should ever treat me otherwise just because I'm a woman. And my parents are very supportive of me, and I think that is helped massively because I know who I am, I know what I'm worth, I know what I'm about, and I just will not take any shit. And I know that that's not the case for other women, and that makes me really sad and really fucking angry. And it's not just promoters I've dealt with other bands as well, all male bands that really just think that they could take the piss, and that also pisses me off. And it's also, men who aren't musicians who have no part in the scene that feel like they can tell you how to do what you're doing as well. Which I find actually quite funny, and I probably shouldn't, but it is actually quite funny. And I think if I could say, I've got so many, amazingly talented girlfriends who are doing the most incredible things, not even just in the music scene, but in, just the performing arts in general. And we support each other, and it's incredible to have seen women in the scene support each other so much more over the last few years, which is really nice. And I feel like the misogyny in the scene is getting talked about way more, which is also really important. And I think more men are becoming aware of their words and their actions that can be really detrimental to women in the scene. I think if I could say anything to, if someone's watching this and they're a woman and they think, oh, I want to be in a band, or I want to do this, I want to do that, just fucking do it. Don't give a shit about what anyone else thinks, whether it's a woman or a man or a they or them trying to give you any sort of, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Fuck it. Fuck it. Do you. You do you, hun. Like, just if you have an idea, if you are passionate about something, just fucking do it. Like, I'm sick of these boundaries that people are putting around us. And and I'm sick of people saying, oh, I'm not really a big fan of female fronted bands.
Oh
Fuck
God.
off. Like, shut up. Like, I'm sorry, right? But I know so many women that can sing so much better than men.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm not trying to be, hating on men,
Of
because,
course, no, of course.
I have like most of my mates are guys, and I love men. Men are great, but also you can be dicks. And I'm just so sick of people thinking that women are an exception in the scene. It just pisses me right off. It pisses me right off. And you know, I don't really have much more to say other than that it just pisses me off, and I will just not stand for it. I just will not stand for it. And there's some situations that, yes, okay, you might have to bite your tongue. You have to just get on with it. But it's about not taking those comments to heart and just thinking, you know what? Fuck him. It's fine. It's fine. Or just let it go. Just let it go over your head. It's really, it is what it is. And I think it's coming back to boomers, it's pretty boomer.
Mhm.
That sort of aspect of it, it's pretty boomer. And I think eventually I'm hoping that people will just see women as equals, and that it's not female fronted bands, it's just a metal band. And that's the hope, that it'll end up like that
Yeah, for
one day.
sure. Yeah, hopefully the term female fronted just becomes a boomer trend that just fucks off eventually.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know why that term still keeps popping up. It's just
Yeah, I know. I had it recently. Someone commented and being like, "Oh, I'm not really into female fronted bands, but I love you." And I'm like, okay. I don't know whether I like that.
that's weird.
Yeah, like, thank you for the compliment, but also, can you take it back?
It's not even like I don't know, like crypto where they might not have realized, but it's like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
very, very bizarre. Uh, I've never actually mentioned this before, but I've always been slightly wary asking that question as a dude because what I'm trying to avoid is sort of like if people might perceive this as like a savior complex kind of thing, like
Oh
I'm like some
no.
patronizing dude going,
Nah.
trying to prop up women kind of thing. 'Cause that's not what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do at all. I'm trying to I kind of feel like it's mostly coming, it's got to come from guys telling other guys
Oh,
sort
for
their
sure.
shit out.
Absolutely. No, and absolutely. Like, it's you asking that question is not a savior complex. It's something that needs to be talked about, and it's not just women that need to talk about. It's men, like you say. Men need to get a grip, and no, I really appreciate you asking that. Thank you.
Brilliant. Yeah. Anytime. Yeah. I think it all the insecurity stemmed from, I think I got one comment. That's it's always one comment. It was one
Yeah.
comment that says something along the lines of when are you going to stop banging this drum? And
Oh,
I didn't
I
I did
hate that as
I didn't
well. Oh,
I didn't reply, but
yeah.
what I was thinking was when I stop interviewing women, well, when I'm interviewing women and I stop hearing them say at one point in my career I wasn't allowed into my show because they thought I was the girlfriend. When I stop hearing
Yeah.
that, then I'll stop talking about
That's
it.
honestly like a huge like I fear that every time. Like, for instance, um not that it's not that it's happened to me personally, because I normally have a lot of makeup on, so people can generally tell that
Sure.
I am supposed to be there. But going in and out of venues when I don't have makeup on, and I've not gotten my stage gear on or anything yet. There is that fear that they're not going to let me back in, and I'm going to have that conversation and be like, "Do you not know who I am?" And that is the fear, and it's never actually happened. I think someone has actually stopped me and gone, oh yeah, no, it's fine, sorry. And I'm like, yeah, like, fair enough. But there's always that fear of being turned away, and it yeah, it's I think because I'm so loud and in your face as well, I think it's difficult. But for people who I know, who are my mates, who maybe not as in your face as I am, that can be a really overwhelming and really, like, um intimidating um aspect to it, which is horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll bet. So we'll lead out with something a bit more positive.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, you guys have a string of live shows over the next
Yeah.
few months, starting from May, going all the way through to October, I believe.
Yeah.
Lots of opportunities for people to go catch you guys live. Has your number of gigs shut up in the last year or two? Or have you always tried to keep busy in the live sense?
um we try and keep as busy as we can. I feel like a band like Ellen, you have to see us in person, otherwise you don't really get it. And again, I hate social media. I hate this whole new this the vibe that you have to promote yourself on social media. You have to do this, you have to do that. It's an absolute pain in the arse. And I wish we didn't have to do that. I wish we could go back to the way that music actually used to be, where people actually gave a shit about what you did and what you did live. And so yeah, so we like to perform, we like to showcase what we're about. And when we first started, we did a hell of a lot of shows, and we were like, yeah, we can't do this again. We need to, like, calm this down. So, albeit we do have a lot of shows this year, a lot of them are festivals, and we try and pick and choose as best as possible now. And with RPM, that we're with now, our management company, um they are amazing, and they're just incredible people, and we're so thankful to have them on board. And they've been such a huge help in regards to sort of sorting gigs and figuring out what is going to be the best for us, what is going to be not only the most fun but the most beneficial. And it's really exciting. We've got some really cool shows, and we're already planning for next year, and next year is going to be fucking wild.
Fantastic, awesome. And
Yeah.
if I'm right, you're swinging by Bristol in
We
September
are. We
with
are with Adfelion.
good friends
Yeah,
at
yes.
Valley. And yeah, if I can make
Yeah.
it work, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, man.
Have,
Be lush
have
to
you
see you.
have you played Bristol before?
No. No, I think it's gonna be our debut. So that should be fun.
Fair enough, fair enough. At the Exchange, it's either the Exchange or the Griffin here normally.
It's the exchange, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that should be great. Hopefully, I'll be there. Also, I know your latest single, Fenrir, only dropped at the end of February. However, I'm a greedy fan. So, when can we expect more?
So Fenrir is the second song on our upcoming EP. We've got one more song to drop, which we've just filmed a music video for as well. With the incredible Loki film. So that's gonna be fucking class. And that's gonna be coming out back end of May, I believe. Not got a date yet, but it will be coming out end of May. So yeah, await that, and then that's when the EPs go on sale for officially, because we did an EP launch at London at the Cart and Horses, and some people got the physical EPs then, but yeah, they'll go officially on sale sort of May time.
Fantastic. Cannot wait. So we are nearly done. However, I like to end these interviews on Crushing Sounds the same way every single time with some random quick fire questions that have nothing to do with anything. You can think as long or as short as you like, elaborate if you wish, just some light-hearted questions to see us
Cool.
through to the end. So, first question, always start with this one. Modern metal or traditional metal?
Oh, traditional metal. Yeah. All day, every day.
Nice. Nice. Acoustic or electric?
Oh, bugger. Um, oh, they're both so tasty. I'm gonna go electric. Electric.
Nice. Uh, performing or recording?
Performing. Yeah.
Nice. Uh, filthy breakdowns or catchy choruses?
Oh, filthy breakdown, I think. I love a good chug.
Nice. Summer or winter?
Oh, God, these questions, man. Um, oh, I love both. I'm gonna go summer because I'm a bit of a cold-blooded creature. So I'm gonna go summer, but I love winter and I love skiing. So yeah, I'm gonna go summer. Yeah.
Cool. Bit of a random one. Which lost civilization would you like to have visited?
Oh, Atlantis. It's got to be Atlantis. Yeah.
Fair. I was banking on you saying Vikings there.
Yeah, I know. I would love to, but I just feel like Atlantis is just like something like we just don't know what happened there, and it's just like, oh, I would just love to know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Favorite cuisine?
Ooh, oh, I think Thai.
Ooh,
I think Thai. Yeah.
nice, nice. Dusk or dawn?
Dusk.
Cool. If you could support any band, who would it be?
I think it would have to be Ghost. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
that'd be so cool.
Honestly, I think I would actually die. Like if someone came to me and said, "Oh, you're going on tour with Ghost," I think I'd actually melt into a puddle. Like I would just, my bones would just disintegrate.
That would be iconic. It'd be so good.
It would be iconic.
Yeah. And a final question: favorite LN song?
Oh, I think, I think it would have to be Summon.
Oh,
I think it
nice.
would be. I think it would be just because it's so fucking filthy. Like it's so filthy, and I just love the fact I get to cover myself in blood during it, and it's just so sexy and filthy. And oh yeah, I think Summon. Yeah.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, cool. So that's all I've got. Thank you so much for joining me, Ellen. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much, Chris.
No worries, no worries. So, everyone watching, please check out those links down below, as always, to check out LN, their incredible music, and go catch a live show coming very shortly. Thanks, Ellen, for joining me. Thank you all for watching. Go listen to some amazing heavy metal, and I'll see you in the next video.